ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ। ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ। ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ। ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ। ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ। ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ। ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਤਿਨ ਬੇਦੀਆਂ ਕੀ ਕੁਲ ਵਿਖੇ ਪ੍ਰਗਟੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਰਾਏ। ਸਭ ਸਿੱਖਨ ਕੋ ਸੁਖ ਦੇ ਜੇਤੇ ਭੇ ਸਹਾਏ। ਗਿਆਨ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਿਛ ਕਰਮ ਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਸਾਰ ਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੇਰੀ। ਸਭ ਤੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ। ਸਭ ਤੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। So the topic that was given to me was Sikhi versus identity crisis. This isn't a normal Vaisakhi talk. I've taken a different angle to it. So I'm doing another 2 talks this week, one in Coventry tomorrow and Thursday. That's slightly different to this. That'll be more the Vaisakhi theme, let's say. So, as you do, you try preparing for one of these talks. And instead of using AI, because everyone complained after my last talk that I used too much AI, I went to Google, images, old school. And when I put in British, this is what it comes with for the left-hand side. Yeah. A guy with a half much trying to do back to it. And then the Sikh image it gave was that, a saying. And what was a bit disturbing was all the images it gave of a Sikh on Google Images, I think 90% were male. So there was no women represented. And I think partially that was because the men majority were the Stana. So there was that. And then there was these weird images that the American organisations used, which looked like someone at a wedding. So those had like men and women in them. So it was a bit of an experience just doing this, looking for images. So even that one, the British one, that's a male again, with a top hat. And no one like really dresses like that now, Hannah, in the UK. So it's just like, as people, if we're Sikhs, or Sikhs, as people say nowadays, in English as well, if you were to say this is a Sikh, what would come into your head as an immediate image? Or if someone's British, what would be an image? So in Southall, you probably wouldn't find someone white on the street, unless they're European, or Polish or something, not British English, as they would say, or Tommy Robinson's gang, yeah? So it's a bit obscure in terms of what our identity makes up, in terms of what makes us think what we are today. So the other part of this is National Geographical. So in terms of Great Britain, obviously we have those nations, but then within that we have the home nations as well. So we would all say we're English. So the Seek to Inspire camp was last week, and we were reading signs in Welsh. I think the word for stop is araf. Yeah, so that's about the only Welsh I learned in a few days, because my car had to stop at those signs when it says stop. But, or was it slow down? I can't remember now. I might even got it wrong. You can Google it afterwards. But as part of that, obviously, you have the Union Jack representing the UK. And then you have English flag, obviously, you know. And then we have an Indian flag. Now, a lot of Sikhs in the UK and across the world have a lot of affinity to that flag. The referendum lot wouldn't have much affinity to it, yeah, and they might burn it. But a lot of Sikhs do have affinity to that flag. It might be through cricket or whatever it may be. That's what the affinity is for a lot of people. Modernly, a lot of people would have more affinity to just the Khanda one. Or you could even say the Three Shastra or whatever people think is the Prathan one. Because there's a lot of debate around that. But here, how many of you would know this? This is the Punjab map. If I got someone in the audience to stand up now and say, show me where you live, and I said, close your eyes, or we delete all the Jile off there, would you know where it is? Yeah? So we would know. In England, where are we? Is Southall there? Yeah? Is that right? Eh? That way? That way? I'm doing it on purpose, Aaron. Yeah, but my hometown is somewhere there, isn't it? Yeah. But the thing is, in terms of like Punjab, where am I? Actually, I'm in Haryana, so I'm okay. Yeah, I'm over there most of the time. I'm never in Punjab, to be fair. No? But so we don't even know the Jile, all the areas of Punjab. So that's our disconnect, isn't it? We know the UK geographically probably better than we do know Punjab or even the Indian state, unless it's the journey from Delhi to Punjab. It's probably the one beaten track we all know. So our identity is confused in these sort of different areas. So bully. So what does that say? Does anyone know what that says? Come on, bro. Yeah, that says Punjabi as well. So most of our elder generation, pre-1947, would actually read Punjabi in that script, in Shamukhi. Yeah. So my Siane, Bajorgs are always around in Godare and stuff, because I'm an old man as well, they would actually read newspapers in Shamukhi as well. So we've got now, like, no one probably can read Shamukhi now, possibly the Sikhs in Pakistan, Punjab or Pakistan. So we had an issue with the Sindhi Mandir in Wembley, but the Sindhi community has got Guru Granth Sahib stoops in Shamukhi. So it's still Gurbani, it's not that it's not, but we can't read it, that community can. Theek ya? So Punjabi can be written in that script as well. So obviously this is the Gurmukhi script, and then we have the English language, and we've got more, like I'm doing this talk now in English. So I went to California, I don't know how many years ago now, because I'm just like Buddha. But anyway, a year or two ago, and when I went to California, nearly every venue I went to, they said, do the talk in Punjabi, not in English. Which is quite refreshing, even in Gondare. So the children there, it's not that they're new immigrants, they actually speak Punjabi that much in their homes as well. So they could understand that. But for a lot of English pracharaks in the UK, we couldn't switch to the other language easily. I could do it fumbling, but I can do it. So national dress. Again, this was a real struggle when I put in the Sikh one. Because the Sikh one was putting in wedding photos. That isn't our national dress, is it? What you wear on a wedding, like a red bag and a sherwani or whatever it may be, or a lenga. But that's what he's actually throwing up for what Sikh dress is. So this is the English-British one. But no one dresses like that, do they really? Who walks around with the bow tie, Anna? Yeah? But so it's like really obscure when you put it into the internet, because society moves on quite fast, doesn't it, from what it is. Obviously, there's differences in ages and things like that. This was interesting for me because I know of this Bibi. So her name is Jagjit Kaur. I don't know if she's still around. But this was the only photo I could find at ease in the search, which was showing Gursikh Bana. Otherwise, I couldn't find it. So it was quite comforting that I could find something quite quickly. And you can see Shaheed Singh's photos in the back, you know? So I think Jagjit Kaur and her husband, that's her husband in the photo. I think they're from California. In terms of what governs you in that country, so we've got this dichotomy of being Punjabi, Indian, Sikh, British, English, Welsh, Scottish. Yeah, so we've got this sort of struggle going on within us in terms of our lives and what's represented. How many of you have been to India? When you go to America and go to California, like some of them have been for 20 years, 30 years, and then they're the most vocal, like, right-wing Khalistanis, and you're like, you've not even been back? Bro, how is this working? Is it like a disconnect with what's going on? But anyway, Constitution of India, do we exist in that Constitution? Yes? No? Yes, we do, as a subsect of the Hindus. So that's how we're religiously defined, to say that Article 25 says that Sikhs are a group of Hindus, basically. That's what it says. That's what the actual Constitution says. So when this image came up, it was quite interesting because the Constitution came there, so I put that on purpose. So in terms of the laws governing in India, if someone does Biadbi of Guru Granth Sahib, and someone possibly takes the person out for doing Biadbi, like Bhai Harjinder Singh did, he did about 2 years, I think, in terms of served time, in terms of jail. Because even though we might say the Indian states are against us, culturally still, in localized situations, they still understand us as Sikhs. Does that make sense? Yeah? So culturally, even though they've got laws there, still sometimes, but then we have the other side, which is Sikh activists and people like that get murdered by the law there, draconian laws. But locally still, we might have some local cultural understanding of why Sikhs might do something. So in terms of our Maryada, and what our Sikh history teaches us about possibly putting people to justice or whatever it may be, how the Shaheeds functioned. If we do anything like that in the British state, the key will be thrown away. There'll be no like, what does it say? There's a word where you say like the circumstances of that situation, because the law is just seen as black and white here. So there's a cultural understanding from it. So tomorrow, on the 13th, the Punjab state might pass a new law to say that anyone who does Biadbi of Guru Granth Sahib gets a 10-year term minimum. That's the law that they're trying to pass tomorrow. So hopefully that goes ahead. All you do in that, if that happens, you've got something concrete in Punjab for all the Biadbi that happen. Now, in terms of culture, British culture kept throwing up these things like bangers and mash and stuff, or whatever it may be, like a bit of meat on a plate. But the truth is, the national dish is what? Curry, isn't it? English curry, because we don't eat that dal like that, do we? Or, you know what I mean? But that's the national food, isn't it? But then when you put it on the internet, they're still trying to put this image of what would have been seen as British food in the past, but that's no longer relevant. And then on this side, when I put the culture image in, what did it come up with? Us serving langar, because that's all we're seeing for doing now in the world, is that these people in turbans and beards give us free food everywhere we go. You see a Sikh, give you free food. So that's what we've become famous for. But obviously, within that culture, you've got the Nishan Sahib there. What's the Nishan Sahib telling us? Come underneath it and join together and follow the Guru's path. There's a Gurdwara there. So and then we've got Gurmat Sangeet, so Bhaji Sukhmani just done Kirtan. So there's a lot of other things attached to our culture, but it's being minimalised just to a langar initiative now, of how we're outwardly seen. Luckily, when I was growing up, the Sikhs were seen as the best people to have a party with. And if you went to a Sikh party, you get loads of booze, and these guys know how to party. That's what was the general stereotype of a Sikh in the UK. I don't know if that still applies, because we're probably doing like lines in toilets now, not just giving out the booze, we're bringing out the drugs as well, Hannah, at the wedding. But anyway. Huh?
At work, some people know Sikhs for that. So if someone told me, I love Sikhs, it's really true.
Yeah, so he's saying, what Bhaji's saying here, for people who can't hear, saying it still applies, and so people still see Sikhs as the best people to party with because of the drinks and stuff like that. So that, obviously I don't operate in those circles, so I wouldn't know, Hannah. Yeah, but yeah. In terms of personal identity, so this is going to an individual level. Beliefs, what you believe in, what your morals are, what your character is, what your practices are, and then Britishness versus Sikhi, or subcultures other than Sikhi. So as a child, as a teenager, I used to listen to gangster rap, Cypress Hill, hip-hop. That was my subculture. Yeah? So now I don't know what the subcultures might be within that for British Sikhs growing up. So it's obviously not going to be the normal white generalized culture. There'll be some rebellion within another culture within that. So we have subsects of that as well. So in terms of an individual level, you could have an identity which is multifaceted. So you might go home and be the good Sikh kid. When you go out, you might be doing something else. You might take you at the start off, put a do-rag on and rapping. Do you get it? So your personal identity could be multiple things, and it's a struggle within what you are in terms of British society. How do we fit in and how do we function within the society here? And then we've got something which is a homeland issue, which is, do we belong to India? Yes or no? Do we belong to Punjab? Yes. But then how does that function? We've got Punjab on the other side of Pakistan as well. That's our homeland as well. Guru Nanak was born there. Now, this was really interesting for me because I'm a Buddha, so I'm out of touch, and I'm glad to be out of touch. So I put in on the internet top UK Instagram accounts and popular UK influencers and personalities. Luckily, I don't know some of these people, so I think that's a blessing, but I don't know. But who and what is forging identity in the UK? So if these people are the most popular on social media, obviously these are the people leading sort of cultural identity for the UK and people living within the UK or who use the internet possibly, Hannah. So David Beckham was number 1 on Instagram. So this is just for the UK. So people following in the UK. Emilia Clarke, I have no idea who she is, yeah. I had the photos, deleted the photos. Dua Lipa, I don't know what her name is, yeah. Gana Liya, mainu nahi pata, yeah. I've seen her name mentioned somewhere. Victoria Beckham, she's his wife, number 1. Arsenal FC, I don't know how they got to number 5. That was just so shocking for me. Like, how did Arsenal get here? They still might not win the Premier League. But anyway. UK influencers, Mr. Bean, number 1. Which, again, I wouldn't expect, you know. KSI was number 2, which I sort of know of him, you know. And then number 3 was Mrs. Hinch. I don't know who that is. Number 4 is Joe Wicks, the body coach. He comes up again, and Joe Wicks. So I knew of him. Top political and news figures. So this is Twitter and YouTube. Russell Brand, number 1, which I wouldn't have expected. Nigel Farage, number 2, I'd expect that. So I know a lot of Sikhs in Southall even who would call me woke. Yeah, they vote for reform, and I think that's the way forward. So they're actually racist against new immigrants, and I think they're destroying the UK. So we had a lot of these issues around Brexit. I remember the factory that my Baba used to work at, all the Bibia, the Sikh Bibia in that factory were all going to vote for Brexit. And then we had to have arguments at home and say, look, what are you doing? And then they finally came around realising, and now obviously everyone realised after the vote anyway, you know what I mean? But then Boris Johnson's still number 3. Bumbling Boris, Fada Shahar da banda, yeah, London da. Now, this is just quarter 1, so this is from YouGov.org, whatever it is, and so this is actually government statistics for this year, the first quarter for this year, who are the most popular people in terms of influencers on social media. So Joe Wicks came 1. Again, who's number 1? Vicky Patterson, I have no idea. Mrs. Hinch, again, she was mentioning it, I don't know who. And this one, I love this one, Angry Ginge. Yeah? I don't know who he is as well, Hannah. And then Perry Edwards, I have no idea. KSI again. So these are the sort of figures forging our identity. None of these are Sikhs, are they? Would any of these give you any Gurmat Mat? One possibly. This one. At least you get you fit. Yeah? Get the pronto down and get you out your system. But other than that, there's not nearly anyone who's probably... Russell Brand might give you a bit of Dharmi. No? Or I don't follow him, so I don't know. In his early days, he seemed okay. I haven't followed him recently, so okay, I won't go there. Yeah, he was probably smoking pot and taking USO and mushrooms, whatever. Anyway, now, I nearly forgot to do this. So Punjabi and Sikh, I put in quote marks because it's debatable if they are really Sikhs, according to anyone's definition. Most followed and influential Sikhs in 2026. Diljit, our boy Diljit Dosanjh, yeah. So I knew he'd probably be number 1, but I didn't expect the rest, Anna. Yuvraj Singh, cricketer. So what you need to realise, people like Basics of Sikhi, Seek to Inspire, even our small little backstreet organisation, the car publishers, most of our followers are actually from India. Behind the stats of the actual views and everything else, most of our followers are actually from India. So where this gets quite interesting is, but you got people like Yuvraj Singh, you lot probably don't follow him in the UK, but the Indians do. That makes sense? So this is a global list, it's not a UK list. Tikya, Yo-Yo, Honey Singh, Shubman Gill, Lily, we got her in, Superwoman, yeah? She's the one Bibi, yeah? I don't know if she's teaching us anything good or bad now, but... And then you got this guy, Harjinder Singh Kukareja. Kukareja is an interesting figure. He literally went out on Twitter, I remember when he started, literally just adding a person, then send him a message, and he just went at it. And over the years, he just built a following of 1 million followers. Now his wife's got 1 million followers. So they actually pursued just making a social media presence, let's say. So the only Singh of any note is Jagmeet Singh, the kind of Canadian politician, Anna. But other than that, really, the rest. Obviously, you got this one as well, AJ Bunga, World Bank President, Anna. So they're at the bottom of the list, another 7 and 8, who might be seen as Gul Sikhs, Anna. Okay. Sikh identity, when was it forged? 1469 to 1708 by the 10 Gurus, that's Badshaya. From that date on to the present day, it's forged by us as the Sikhs, and then Sikh history of what happened between then and now. Gurmukhi language and Gurbani has been eroded because I'm speaking in English. How many of us can speak Punjabi? How many of us can read Gurbani in the correct way, in the correct manner? Understand the dialects in Gurbani, the different languages and what they mean. Amrit. So if you say you are a Sikh, you have to believe in the Amrit Sanchar. It doesn't matter if you're a Monna, it doesn't matter if you're not Amritari, but you have to believe as a Sikh, we have to take Amrit one day. If you don't, then you're actually going against the teachings of the Gurus in a simple form. The first 10 Gurus gave Amrit through the Charan, they're no longer in physical form, so you take through Khanda Bhatta, through the Khalsa. And then as a physical identity, we've got 5 Ks with that, the Panchakakar. Now, this is where it gets interesting. God, conscience beings, that's what we are supposed to be. We are supposed to be representing God through a Sikhi sphere, through our Bana, in the world. That's what we're supposed to do. So as a Sikh, if I walk out the room now, I'm representing the Guru. So anything I do reflects upon the Guru and Sikhi and Sikhs as a community. Seva in the world, langar, we've done it. But the truth is, je sada khalsa bhukha marda ta seva lokan nu khila ke ki milna sanu. Yeah? So if our Jathabandiyan and our organizations in India and the Sikhs who need the money, who need the education, need the resources, if we're feeding the world, then sorry, it's not working. Because even langar is supposed to have pork to it from the Guru, with jap over it. So if you read Guru Nanak's history, Guru Nanak actually, apart from the first langar when he goes and feeds it to the sadhus, all the langar was within Sikh spaces. It wasn't outside. But our langar now is usually for us to eat. Because we don't allow vagrants into the Gurdwara, we'll kick them out. So we've got issues to resolve. So if you look at Guru Nanak Sikhi, where Guru Nanak went to meet someone and did prachar, what did they say? They said, Kirt karo, naam japo, vand shako. And they said to that person that they met, they said, make your house into the Dharmasala. So that person's house then became a Gurdwara, from which they would have to feed anyone who came to their door. They would possibly have to give them shelter, regardless of who they are, even if they make a hut outside, whatever they do, give them shelter and give them food. And if they move on the next day, they move on. If me as a Gursikh came to Southall Gurdwara to sleep one night, yeah, this isn't a reflection on Southall Gurdwara, let me be clear about that, but any Gurdwara in the UK, more than likely, most Gurdwara wouldn't let me stay the night. Unless I knew the committee members or the Pradhan, or I knew someone, or had some sort of influence, but usually the Gurdwara wouldn't let me sleep the night. If I said, my car's broken down, can I stay the night? The Granthis usually are really good Sengs, and they'll usually let you stay without telling anyone. That's the truth of it. But our whole ethos of starting from that to where we've got to now doesn't reflect the Guru's teachings. Who are you? So what are we? That's the question. Like if someone said to you, who are you? Most of you would say this back, wouldn't you? I am Salawat, Satwan, the Balawan, the Balabir. Whatever your name is, you'd probably say that, wouldn't you? But that's the name of your body, that's not your name. So you're associating yourself with the body, but that's not who you really are. So you might say, my body aches. You don't say, I am the body. Yeah? So you say, if let's say, like Gursikhs, what they say, if you say, I'm ill, we all say that, don't we? I am ill, Hana. What a Gursikh will say, Mera Sri Dillaya. There's a difference, isn't it? So the difference is, my body is ill. There's a recognition that I am not the body. So, this Gurwani Pankti, I've not put any of the sources there. You can look for them yourselves. I've been a bit lazy. So, sorry for that. Mantu Jot Swaroop hai apna mool pashan. This is Gurbani. So what it's saying is, recognize that your mind is the light of God. Apna mool pashan, recognize that root cause is from God. That's who you really are. So what we actually are, we're God conscious beings. So what it means is, when this body dies, the body dies, we just move on. That God element is within us. That's what's giving this energy, this body sentience. And that body, then, that person then moves on. So the body, it came from the five elements, goes back to the five elements. So what actually is the God element within us is there anyway. But what it is, we've forgot who we really are. That's the issue we've all got. So in terms of identity, we're supposed to identify with God, but we're identifying with our body. So that's the first layer of the Panch Ghosh is what they call them. And I ain't going to go into that, it's going to get confusing. Purpose of life. God is always true in all time frames. So who or what truly exists? If something... I don't know why it's gone again. Yeah, it's dead. Yeah, Margya. So some people do the art of Satanam or Sat is what truly exists. The truth truly exists, but God truly exists. Nothing else does. So if we use the Pankti, Ad Sat, Jugad Sat, Happy Sat, Nanak, Hosi Pi Sat. God existed at the start, before creation. God exists after creation, during creation. He's always there. So only He really exists. Everything in the intervening consequence is actually just Maya. It's just a game. So we're all confused in the center part. At the end, we realize who we are, and at the start, we realize who we are. We're in the middle at the moment. That's our problem. That's our human condition. So the human dilemma, khao pio, moja mano, e jag mitha, agla ken dittha. That's what the Punjabis say, yeah? So eat, be merry. We've sinned in this world. Who's sinned the next one? No one has. So that's the challenge that's given to us in Kaljug, isn't it? But Gurbani says, Gobind Milan ki eh teri bariya. That it's your chance now to meet the Lord of the universe. This is your chance. If you waste it, yeah, then it's gone. Human life is the only chance to meet God. And if you waste it, then it's 8.4 million lives. Let's have a look. Let's scare you all now. Yeah? 8.4 million lives. Only one life in the 8.4 million, which is human life, you can change your destiny. All the rest are a jail sentence. You can't change your karma in those. So one life out of the 8.4 million. One cycle of the 8.4 million lives takes 3.5 billion years. One cycle. You've all heard of stillbirths. Yeah? You've heard of children dying at the age of 1. They came. They might go back for another 3.5 billion years to get the chance again. ठीक है? Rocks, mountains are part of the Jurassic Lagoon as well. So if you're really a puppy, then you end up being a rock on a mountain. Until that rock's disintegrated, you're still there. And then, also the 3.5 billion years, it's no guarantee. Like I said, you might have another 3.5 billion start again. So this is your one chance. And this is my chance as well. And if we all mess it up, then Rabbi Rakha. Yeah? Now, the anjam we have, the blame we do, God created my destiny. I was born in Southall. Mere mare karam. Yeah? So that's what we might say, huh? But the truth is, all God did was He created a world of pure goodness. Sotogani Maya is what we call it, huh? So God created a world of pure goodness. He didn't actually create any bad. We're the ones who created the bad. He just created a system. We're the ones who acted and made a karma. So in Gurbani में पंक्ति किरत कर्म के विश्रे कर कृपा मिलो राम किते हुए कर्मा करके ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿਛੜ ਕੇ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਤੋਂ ਤੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਤੂੰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰ ਮਿਲੋ ਰਾਮ yeah so ਸਾਡੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿਛੜੇ ਹਾਂ not because he did anything he just created a good world with goodness in it we're the ones who created the badness but we don't like it like that do we? It's a hard pill. I was listening to San Singh Maskeen's katha and he was saying that when you get old and you get a disease you're like I don't accept that. But in Giani, you accept your youth. So when you get old, you don't accept that. You say, no, hon galt ho gaya. Mere kismat mari hogi. But so you accept the good bits. When the bad bits come, you're like, nah, it's God's fault now. God put me in this position. God didn't do anything. We've done all these, all right. So this is the one that's not an easy pill to swallow. So if I've got an arrow, I'm doing my archery, and the arrow's already left. The arrows that are fired have gone. They're already in the field. I can't stop them now. They've been launched. That's what our karma like. In this life, where you're born, who you get married to, where you die, what diseases you contract, you cannot change those because that destiny you made with your own hand from your pishle karma. You created that destiny. How much money you're going to have, how much status you're going to get, how much women and wine you might get even, that's all set. You can't go beyond that. So someone trying to be a millionaire and dying trying, bro, it wasn't meant for you, just give up. Yeah? So there's certain things that are set. So this Gurbani Pank says, Dadde dost na deo, this kise dost karma apneya. So saying, don't blame anyone, blame your own karma. Jo me kiya, so me paya, dost na dije avrajana. What I have inherited now, jo me kiya, so me paya. I'm the one who created that destiny. Dost na dije avrajana. I can't blame anyone else for that now. So those are the arrows we fired from previous births. Those have already been launched. What you can do, the karma might not change, but you can change your mind. So you still might do the same karma. So from this point on to the point I die, the karma might be the same, but my state of mind has changed. So outwardly people might think he's acting the same things, but they don't know inside my mind, can they? They can't look inside to see what my avastha is. So when I was planning this talk, I was doing it in these 3 sections really, but it's going to be on and off of this, which is mind, body and soul. So in terms of identity, I think what was the topic? Or was it something versus crisis identity? Crisis. Identity, you know? Identity crisis. Right around, yeah? So identity crisis. So if they've got an identity crisis, that exists in our mind, in our body, in terms of how we react with the world, and then our soul. Now the soul, most of you would think soul is like your personality and other things. No, it's not. Soul is the God element in us that never changes. Yeah? So in Japsa we read, Atati to karma. That's referring to God. So when your parents or someone says to you, tu teet, he's saying you're stubborn. Atati to karma. God's karma actions are teet. They're stubborn because he never changes. He's the same. He actually never changes. And that's where we're confused. Sab sukh data ram hai, dusar nahin koe. So he's saying all pleasure in the world, all bliss that you experience, it doesn't matter what it is, it's all come from God. So what we do is, if the sun was out, which is rarely out in the UK, and I got a glass and I reflected the sun's ray to something, I can reflect the heat of the sun and the light. ठीक है? In the same way, our power of concentration reflects onto God's power, and we get a split second of shock and we attribute it to something. Like I might be eating food. So until the point of satiation, basically I will eat, and then when I'm full up, I'm like, Anand aa gaya. But that actual point came from God, because it reflected for a second onto God's energy. And that's what happens throughout our lives, but we misattribute that power of God to something else. So we keep thinking it's other things and going after them. So man, bodh, chit, ahankar is it's literally all four of them mean your mind really, internally. So internally, what's going on within us in terms of our mind, our intellect, the concentration, and ego. So these four things are like four divisions of your mind, you could say, in a simplified way. Yeah. So your thoughts. So your thoughts usually lead to your actions. So if you had good thoughts, you'll have good dreams. You have bad thoughts, you'll have bad dreams. If you think of Arsenal winning the league, you're having bad dreams at the moment, yeah? If they win whenever the next game is, you might have a good dream. ठीक है? Active. The mind always wants to be active, non-stop. It doesn't want to sit still. It's like a monkey mind, isn't it? That's all of us. We need to still the mind. So what Gurbani is about is stilling your mind. Simran of Vaheguru Guru Mantra and Mool Mantra is about stilling your mind, to actually get it focused on one thing, to then stop it flittering. So we do that through Simran and then control it and rein it in. So we're supposed to control the mind. Now, when it gets tricky, when it comes to Vishavakar or sins, sometimes we can't control the mind. So it's better to ignore it rather than control it and think I'm a surma and then lose every time. Yeah? So sometimes it's actually just better to, but we've got to conquer the mind. It doesn't matter how we do it. So in a classroom, the naughty child might be sent to the corner in silence. It still has the same effect, doesn't it? They're still silenced, aren't they? So it's whatever works for you. But I would say, always have a bit of humble pie and don't think you can beat the mind. Always go in as a victim and say you're going to lose. So it's better to take the naughty corner rather than turn to the jung madan. If you want permanent sukh and bliss, you have to do this. ठीक है? And you have to get connected to God. So we didn't do the normal pankti from Japji Sahib, Man jeete jag jeet. Found another one. Man jeete jag jeetea, jaate bikhyate hoye udas. So what this is talking about, we have to invert the earth. Jaate bikhyate hoye udas. When you become aloof of poisonous vice of the world, what happens? Man jeete, you win your mind. Jag jeete, and you win the world. ठीक है? जाते बिख्याते होए उदास. So you have to become free of passions of the world, vices of the world, that poison of the world. You have to actually become, what's the word used for udas there? Detached, it says. But it's like extreme detachment. Detached doesn't really capture the meaning of it, yeah? So that's how we can win our mind over. Once we win our mind over, we win over the world, because the world can no longer affect us in any shape or form. We've got internal equipoise. Now the intellect, we need to sharpen our intellect through study of Gurbani and what it actually means, rather than just take my word for it, anyone's word for it. Actually study Gurbani and go on a journey with Gurbani and Guru Sahib. It will brighten your intellect and make you realize things of what you're doing is wrong or possibly, or put you on the right path. It will elevate your intellect as well. And what you read, watch and repeat is what creates your intellect as well. So if we're sitting on TikTok and we've got the concentration of a TikTok, our life will turn into a concentration of a TikTok, which is, I don't know, 15 seconds, 60 seconds maximum. Yeah? So, whatever we're looking at on our phones all the time, yeah? So if someone's creating a counter video of me today on the internet saying, he said this today in this talk, and I'm doing analysis of him, guy's living rent-free in my head, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? And this is what we do. So we actually get diverted from our real path to realize God by all these side things going on within everything of our life, whatever it may be. Gurbani will give you divine wisdom. It will give it to you. But the problem is, sonaya manaya man kita pao. Asi son vi lande, man vi lande, but then we don't do the man kita pao, which is actually implementing it. So we listen to it, we obey it possibly, but we don't actually implement it. That's where we all fall down. But the only thing, if I said now, if you read Gurbani, you do these things, you'll get to Brahm Gyan. Nah, no chance. The only thing that gets you there is Guru Prasad. Yeah, padaya, unpadaya, paramgat pave. So he said the educated, non-educated both get to God. They can both get there. So what gets you there is the Guru Prasad and your prem bhavana, your actual devotion to God. That's what gets you there. It's not what we're saying. We're trying to break this down like an intellectual exercise, because the problem we have, we've been brought up in a system where we think we have to go to school, we have to go here, we have to go here. So you're so used to that we have to feed you that back, because you're not ready to say, oh, just throw your Shastra down, just surrender to God and you'll get to God. Because really, that's all you need to do. But we've been conditioned to go to school, go to work, do all this effort, then you get it. But really, if you just surrender, it's done. We can concentrate on everything but God. Is that true? Yeah? That's all of us. So we can concentrate, watch a film for 3 hours, whatever it may be, Netflix, go home, watch Manosphere, the most stupid program in the world of stupid people. Yeah? Whatever it may be, we can watch it. As we don't see the benefit in God. So our Gurbani is going to teach us where the benefit is. And we have to then stick to the task rigorously. Work at it and then meditate. We have to do these things. Without doing these things, we're not going to make progression. So at work, you get paid if you do X, Y, and Z. Then you get performance managed. If you don't do that, you don't get your pay at the end of the week. So why aren't we performance managing our lives to say, "Main 2.5 घंटे साधना आज नहीं की तो मैं रोटी नहीं खानी." We don't do that, do we? We don't punish ourselves, but that's what it takes sometimes to put us on the right track. We have to performance manage our Sikhi ourselves. So ego, ahankar, Baba Pedda Sachkhand Naunid Naam Garibi Pai. So this is Bhai Gurdas, the other Pankti from Guru Granth Sahib. So what Bhai Gurdas is saying, Baba Nanak went to Sachkhand, got Naunid the Naam, so the Naam which has got 9 treasures in it, you can look them up. And then Garibi Pai, he also bought all the humility that was left in Sachkhand. That's what people say. ठीक है? So even if we do Naam Japana, we shouldn't be saying, Munaya, this is a Nihang, this is a Taksali. It doesn't matter what they are. At the end of the day, we all need to get to God. And if we're saying God's Jyot is in us, it's in everyone else as well. So we need to go beyond the superficial world. But the ego will go and hide, even if you start doing the right things. So it's very refined and very, I don't know the word. It's very clever is the simple term. It'll go and hide and then it'll get you at the end. So when we talk about the fake Babbe and fake saints, it's not to say they weren't spiritual beings or they weren't good people, but the ego got them in the end. And they might have elevated, so we shouldn't disdain some of these people. It's not that everyone's got a path, and tomorrow it could be us. That's the scariest thing. At any point it could be us falling down. Spiritual ego is probably the worst ego. But then we have bodily ego as well. Oh, my 1-pack, my 6-pack. Yeah? My white hair, my black hair, pluck the beard, pluck the hair. What do they do now? What's that thing they do in the dari? Where they put that foam thing in it. So Amritaris are doing that, like, bro, what's going on? You can't do Ganga in your case. So what's that about? You know what I mean? But intellectual ego, so Pracharaks and other people, like, I could do a talk and I could convince you of this path and the opposite as well. You can take Gurbani and think it's contradictory, but it's actually complementary. So what we do is, we take one Gurbani Pankti out of context out of the whole of Guru Granth Sahib Swarup, and we don't understand where it's fitting in with the whole program. So we all need to keep it humble, so we don't stumble. Anyway, I better not do many more raps. So we just did these 3, So the mind, intellect, concentration, and ego, you can see these as an individual. You can see where your mind's going. You know where your buddhi is, of how smart you might be, let's say, yeah? Or how much you know about Sikhi. Your concentration, you know if you can just go home today after this talk, sit down, get your watch out or your phone, and say, I'm doing Simran now, and time it. See how long you concentrate. Yeah? If you do more than 3 minutes and you've not noticed 3 minutes ago, I'll be on the halfway to also by then, but yeah, you know what I mean? So the thing is, most of us can't do that. Can't do Simran for 3 minutes without thinking of anything else. Others get glimpses of what we're like in how we interact with the world, but they don't really know what's going on inside, do they? So this is an internal task for us of our development of how we fit in. So this is all about our identity as well, because this is what's going to get reflected in the world. What's inside comes outside as well. And then what's that? What's the dil saaf jata? Dil saaf hona chahiye. That's the favourite Punjabi phrase, isn't it? So I say, all right, so if it's dil saaf hona chahiye, then you're saying your dil is saaf. What have you used to show us it's saaf? What's the mirror that you used? Was it Gurbani? Show me how your dil is saaf. Like you might be sitting there smoking a spliff and saying, Mera dil is saaf here. Yeah? He's doing a paap on top of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's an easily bounded around phrase. What are you aiming for in your life? Get a better job. Get a better wife. Yeah? Change the one I've got now. Go to the marketplace. People do that, don't they? Go fishing. Yeah? It's never going to be any better. You're only going to end up in Narak again. Yeah? So you can't improve certain things. What you think about, you beget. So what you think about, that's what you become or what you actually achieve. So it's quite interesting. I've worked in local authorities and all the goriyan, when we were getting redundancies, I was like, Jangi gal ya, paise masi mile, 18 mahine India rahunga, 2-4 saal kaam nahi karna. That's what happened. I didn't do anything. I just ate the money. And the gore like, I can't pay my bills. I need to get a job. And every single person I knew in that workplace who got redundancy, because the whole department was closing basically, it was a 10-year government program. But they all found work. Everyone who needed the work got it. And what we don't realise, that's at the end, that's our concentration. What we actually think about, we do get it. Even if you're manmuk, it does work, because that's the power of concentration. And that's the power of dhyan, and that's the power of Simran and sadhana, but we don't realise it works there as well, in the God path. And the problem with the God path is, in the world you can see visible results. In the God path, you might see it in the next life, you might see in 10 years. So again, Sansing Maskeen, I've been listening to his like funky music background on this channel, I don't know, YouTube channel that does it yet. So I've been listening to these all the time. And it's like my background music when I'm doing these presentations. And what he said on there, it's quite interesting. He said, look, if you plant a mango tree, the mango tree is going to give you fruit in 3 years. It's not going to give you in 1 year. It's the same with our Simran and Bart. We ain't going to see the results. You might see them in 3 years. So at the moment in India, in Haryana, where we go, we've planted a avocado tree. So it's like bourgeois food in Punjab and Haryana now. If you get avocados, like you pay like 300 rupees one or something. I don't know what we pay. So we've got an avocado tree now. But it's like, I think it's 4 years before we get the fruit on there. So, but you have to wait, don't you? So you can't see until later. That's the problem with this God path to an extent. And God, in its truest sense, is invisible. So, is there water here? Huh? Anyone in Seek to Inspire camp and heard me say this? Don't answer, yeah? Is there water here? Yes or no? Yeah? Yes, there is. Yeah? So if this bottle was out the fridge and we put the bottle down, water would come on the outside, wouldn't it? So pani hega ya. Yeah? It's like that Paramatma hega ya. We can't see him, but sanu nu patak karna pena naam jap ke. And then he'll become pratak. And Guru Sahib will talk to you. You won't even have to take a hukamnama. He'll speak to you. But we have to do the job to get that out. So our Bhavna will actually get you there. So I challenge anyone who's watching this at home, across the world anywhere, do an ardas. If you want Maharaj to show you something, they'll show you something. The power is there, but we don't actually have the faith that it's there, or we don't do the effort. In terms of our body consciousness should not be primary. We have a body which is a vehicle to get to God. So we have to look after it and not abuse it, but it's not our be-all and end all. We are not the body. And we do not perish with the body. We've done these points at the start, Hannah. The problem is we do everything with this body. So we get confused in terms of what the body is. So this is out of Anand Sahib. So Sri Guru Amar Das says, "Eh Sri Ram mere is jag mein aaye ke kya tud karan kamai." So when you came to this world, what actions have you done? That's a question to us, yeah? And then Maharaj repeats the same question, but just rewords the next line. Now, why did Maharaj actually say the same thing in 2 lines? Because he's saying to you, what have you done? What have you done? He's repeating himself. All he's doing is rephrase the same pankti at the top. That's all that Maharaj has done. Because the point is, what have we done? Why did we come to this world? Did we come here to get married, to have children, have kids, have a Mercedes and have a mortgage and die? That's most of our story, isn't it? Most people will do that, won't they? That God who created you, you haven't actually imbued him in your mind. So he's saying you haven't done it, but the ones who have done it, how did they do it? With the Guru's kirpa, with the grace of the Guru, they imbued that God into their mind. And they had karma. So they had good destiny from previous births, that they've done good actions to actually meet God in this life. So even if you don't meet God in this life, if you do good enough good, you'll meet him in the next. It's a 3.5 billion year game. Some of us are not going to make it, but generally in Sikhi we will say, if you take Amrit with the right bhavna in 6 janam, you'll get mukti. In 6 births, you'll get it. That's all it takes. So we have got the golden bullet, if you were to say, but it's if you want to take it. This body then becomes fulfilled for those people who actually did what the true Guru told them to do and did it chetalake, is what the Pankti says, chetalaya at the end. So concentrated on that, did it with love and attention. So it's not a chore for them to do Rairas, it's not a chore to the Panjamaniya, it's actually something they enjoy and they like to do repeatedly. So the Guru gave you 5 Ks to your body. Why did he give you the 5 Ks? Ks, to fight Hankar, to keep you humble. And that's with the star. And Kara, to fight greed. But then also to say you actually handcuffed to the Guru. You belong to the Guru. So if you have a dog and you have a collar around the dog's neck, if the dog gets lost, you take it back to the owner, don't you? Your Kara says, take me back to my owner, which is Guru Sahib. So we belong to that Guru while we're in the Kara. So if we're in a party or a club and we're beating someone in the head with the Kara, I don't think that's a good representation. Or even going to a club or a party with the Kara on. Kirpan, sword of honor, and shockingly, actually, is to fight anger. So with the Kirpan, what we usually have is this on there. It's a little strap thing. So before you pull it out, you have to take that off to temper your anger. The Ganga, comb out attachment. So those people who do Kali in their Dariya, you can't even comb your Dari. How are you going to comb out the attachment of the will? So when we do Ganga, what we're supposed to be saying is, what have we done today? Can I break the bonds from the world? So the case of falling out, how am I breaking the bonds from the world? How am I getting detached from the world? Kashera, lust and conduct. So the soul, that God element within us, Atma Paratma Eko Kare. So the soul within us and the soul that's omnipresent everywhere, Paramatma Eko Kare. Basically, we're supposed to make them become one in one. So when you say water goes into water, when we go into God, we merge with that same energy. But Antar ki dubda, so how do we do that? Antar ki dubda, antar mare. That duality with it exists within us, which is saying, do the right thing, do the bad thing, do the right thing, do the bad thing. We have to destroy it internally. When we get rid of that duality, we see oneness and we get one with God. So, Ik Oankar, what it actually means, Ik Oankar Sabda Prakashak Ek Paramatma. So that one God who's actually outside of creation, that's this one here, Oankar Rup is in creation. He's actually Nirgun, he's got no qualities. We can't even say cosmic energy because really we haven't got a word to describe that Nirgun Paramatma. He's hiding in plain sight, he's there all the time. And when we talk about the word Amrit, it means immortality, but really what the Guru's trying to do with you at every juncture of your life is give you Amrit. Not just Khande Bhatta, but every point he's reminding you of this immortality which is God. Because that God really doesn't come into creation. If he came into creation, he'd die. So he creates, but when there's no creation, only he exists. That's simple, isn't it? So when the Big Bang happens, or whatever it is, he created so many times, destroyed, comes and goes, and he puts his soul in us. It is one with God at all times. It's never separated. We need to access the soul, unlimited bliss, intelligence, immortality. That's what it actually gives us. So if you connect with your soul, you will start getting Anand in your life. You'll experience it when you read Bani. You'll get taste Amrit in your mouth.
Your intelligence will increase naturally through the sadhana. So you'll see things, you'll strategically start thinking yourself how to avoid bad things. And then you will get immortal. You will have the feeling that nothing kills you, you don't die. So the Shaheed saying, when we read their sakya, they're saying like, what can you do? Kill us. I don't die anyway. What's the difference? I'm not here anyway. But they've gone beyond the consciousness of their body. It's the difference with them and us. So how do we develop this soul consciousness? How is Guru Sahib every day teaching us these things? Japji Sahib teaches us about Brahmgyan, divine wisdom. Jap Sahib teaches about God in creation, but also that Nirgun Paramatma, that formless God. So when we say Roop, Rang, Ar, Rekh, Pek, Kou, Kahe, Na Sakat Ke. Roop, he's got no form. Rang, he's got no colour. Rekh, he's like an outline as well, na? Yeah, so it's Pek, he's got no uniform or garb. Kou, Kahe, Na Sakat Ke. No one can mention these things for God. They don't exist for him. Swiya, destroy your superstition and develop detachment from the world. Chaupe Sahib, help. That's our favourite Bani usually. Because when we're down and out, yeah, we've done stupid come, yeah, it's like, Maharaj and Sanu Bakste, Sanu Rakhla, yeah. That's why it comes after Charitra Pakhyan as a Bani as well. It's at the end of that. Anand Sahib teaches us how to get bliss in the world. So these are all there. Every day we're reading these Bani, but we're not practicing them, including me. Rera Sahib is daily reminders. After you've done all your work in the day, what's Maharaj bringing you back to? The reality of what God is after you've done your day. Soila, always saving us in the end. So even if you die in your sleep, he's saving you then as well. He's there to save you, but we've got to put our hand out to hold his hand. That's the difference. His hand's always permanently there to help us, but we have to make that connection. So where do we get this soul consciousness from? Guru Granth Sahib. That's from Guru Granth, Bhai Gurdas, Bhai Nandalal, Sarvalo Granth. So we've got this many Granths that most of us will never read all these. We can't do it. We can't get through them. Now the debates of Rath, so I've not really gone to Rath in this talk in terms of like, aa khao, aa na khao, aa na karo, o na karo, because for me sometimes it's superficial. Because what did Guru Sahib say? Rahat rahat reh jahe bekara, gur pure ke savadya para se Gurbani di pankti. So what he's saying, rahat rahat, stop. Yeah? Reh jahe bekara. If you stop doing bad actions, all your bekar, all your vices will stop. Gurupur eke sabdiya para. How did you do that? How did you stop these things? Because the true Guru taught you the Shabd and taught you what's the par, which is beyond this world. Paravarto Ret. And by doing that and joining with the Guru, you stopped all these things. So if Guru Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh didn't write the Ret of the Khalsa, why? Because the Gurus took from 1469 to 1708 writing Gurbani for us. Our first Ret is Guru Granth Sahib. So any historical grants, whatever, for our little arguments, Gurbani is first and foremost. And that's our first source. And if we're not Rabdeo in Gurbani, then what's the point? If the Banta is made from the Panjabaniya, that's what creates it. We have to get imbued in those Baniya. So whatever comes outside of that is all external. So we didn't even have the Retanami on there, on that slide. We finished at Sarvalogran. Because the thing is, they're all man-made. That's the truth. Guru Sahib didn't create the Ret for us. We've got debates around certain Shabdana, like Panj Asthar Kaf, there's a Shabdana, Nishani Sikhi. So that goes through the Bhajar Kreta and the Panchakakar. But other than that, there's nothing really. Because Guru Sahib knew, if you get imbued in Gurbani, you'll do the right things anyway. So that's what because we go to the external and the bodily issues and other things and Sampradanya, Rets and stuff, but that's actually a diversion from what Guru Sahib was trying to join you with, which is the root, which is God consciousness in Gurbani. So the challenges we have, everything we see and touch is Maya. Everything is the illusion. None of this exists. And we interact with it, so we're thinking it does exist. So it's like a magician trick, isn't it? A magician will stand at the front of the room, make something disappear, appear. This is like what the world's like. Bhakti is the solution to the illusion. That's the thing. You've got to do the devotional practice, and then the illusion starts getting lifted. Maya is out to trap you, enslave you, snare you. The Guru is here to save you and liberate you. That's the difference. One's there for sonu, ekkodonu, the Rab milonu. Yeah? So the thing is, Maya is going to get us stuck in the world. The Guru is going to get us out, and he's going to make us meet God. That God who's been hiding behind the curtain, he's going to make him visible. Say here, peekaboo, chatte kar lo Rab hega. I think that's the last slide. Oh, we've got a few more. we're not going to read this. You're going to start crying if you start to sing this. So people who represented the Khalsa of this identity crisis we have, that's who we should be looking up to, not the people at the front of the presentation and the Dua Lipa and the David Beckham and Victoria Beckham. These are the people we should be looking up to, because they're the ones who made Sikh history for us and showed the world what the Khalsa is about. So this Singh here, this is Giani Moor Singh. Giani Moor Singh comes from a Hindu Parivar, Pandit Parivar, to the extent that his own brother was a Nirankari follower as well. His whole family gets shaheed in 84. Once his daughter it survives, she's still alive. But he actually did prachar. He went to, I think he was the first Taksal Singh who went to Singapore, I think it was, or it was Philippines. I'm getting confused. But he was the first person to ever leave India, part of the Damdim Taksal. He left, did duty for a few months, came back and built a Gurdwara near Mehta with all the money he made. And then he shaman his whole family into the attack and gave Shahidi. So that's someone who was a non-Sikh, out of a Sikh household, who came into Sikhi. So we've got it easy. We're born into Sikh households. We've got this in our houses. So we stand on the shoulders of immortals, that's Shaheeds and Brahmgyanis. They all had Bhakti, did Bhakti, and lived Bhakti. That's what made them brave, fearless, and one with God. Where are we? So we have to question ourselves, are we Anandpur Devasi? That's what Guru Gobind Singh says. Tusi Anandpur Devasi. So when I ask you what's your band, you'll probably say, I don't know, Graya de Lage, Jalandhar de Lage, yeah, Mammanake, whatever it may be, yeah. So the thing is, but Guru Gobind Singh said, you're Anandpur Devasi. So when people ask me in India and I say Anandpur Sahib, I say, no bro, tell us the real one. Yeah? But Guru Sahib is actually trying to detach you from the world. He's trying to say, this is your village, give up your family, forget them, they're going to destroy you, I'm here to save you. But you're like, nah, my mum and dad are nice. Nah, yeah? And he's saying, I am your mother and father. Who's your family? Pita Guru Gobind Singh, Mata Sahib Kaur, Dadi Ma Mata Gujari, Pra Sade Ajit, Jujar, Jonawar, Fateh. But we don't want to accept that reality, do we? Because we see our family giving us money, we see our family taking us to university, and whatever it may be. But that's what the reality. Guru Sahib is trying to break you from the world at every point, at every juncture in your life. So it's a lot to live up to. You decide, liberate or transmigrate in the 8.4 million lives. Any questions? Puljuk dikhema. Deho sajana sisniya jo hove sahib syo mel. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa. Vaheguru ji